So Thomas Skinner was voted off Strictly Come Dancing for, let's be honest, being a terrible dancer. Yet Skinner is now planning to sue them over accusing them of rigging the votes. You couldn't make it up. But not only that, GB News actually had a panel discussion on the matter. Now, warning, this video clip is really, really embarrassing.
You might not shock you that I've never watched Strictly Come Dancing or heard of this guy, but it doesn't surprise me about the BBC because we've all experienced the BBC as well as, the scandal with President Trump and other things. And so it doesn't shock me that there could be some bias. That's an understatement.
I wonder if was maybe just not a very good dancer, Colin.
Well, we don't know, but what we do know is that viewers, readers, subscribers, they're moving on from these legacy media outlets they view as just hopelessly biased and not impartial arbiters of news, and they're coming to places like GB News and others, and that's it. That's the beauty of it. Yeah. Consumers can go where they want. If they don't like what's happening at the BBC, they've got plenty of other outlets to go get their information from.
I tell you what, though, if they can genuinely, if Thomas Skinner can prove that his vote was fiddled because of his political affiliations, that's almost worse for them than the Trump issue.
Yeah, it's the debanking scandal with Nigel, all over again. And, so the institutions are way behind the curve. The parties of the right are leading in the polls, not only with Reform in the UK, but Vox in Spain and AfD in Germany, National Front in France. So, yet the institutions are still stuck to their 2021, kind of woke ideology. And anybody who veers to the right should be debanked or de-danced or whatever they call it.
What? I'm sorry. What? Thomas Skinner was voted out of Strictly Come Dancing, and you've got morons on GB News saying, this is like debanking, man. This is government oppression. Now, don't get me wrong, right? I think as much as I absolutely despise Nigel Farage and his politics, I don't think anyone should be debanked because it sets a really bad precedent, blocking someone from access to funds. I mean, that could happen to any one of us. And trust me, I think that's probably quite likely given that we're socialists. But this is a fucking dance show. And you've got people trying to conflate something quite serious to that. And apparently it's now woke. Audience participation in Strictly Come Dancing is now woke, guys. I can't believe I'm telling you this. GB News is platforming people saying that Strictly Come Dancing is woke. So, of course, apparently the BBC rigged the vote because they didn't like Skinner's political views. If that was the case, they wouldn't have had him on in the first place. I mean, how stupid do you think these people are? I mean, Thomas Skinner hasn't been quiet about his right-wing beliefs. If the BBC was so left-wing, they wouldn't have gone, oh, look, let's bring on Skinner to platform him. They wouldn't have done it, right? He was voted off because he's a fucking shit dancer. That's it. Ben, oh my God. The right-wing always accuse the left of being snowflakes. But the opposite is true. They want to live in a perpetual state of victimhood, don't they?
They really do. It's really interesting. The guy who was speaking there, the American...
You debated him, didn't you?
I debated him last time I went on GB News. I was like, oh my God, it's him, as soon as the clip was playing. Because I tried to call him out for... He defended, he was on Question Time, and he defended Andrew Tate's relationship with Donald Trump. So it's strange seeing him again. But on the question of Thomas Skinner, I don't know if you've seen much of his dancing. He was very wooden in the clips that I've seen. Like just purely on an aesthetics thing. It's not about his politics. His dancing was a bit shit. I watched a clip of him and his partner, Amy Dowden, doing a dance. I think it was like a month old. And the top comment, which was posted like a while ago now, was about how it was like watching a pork pie farting its way through a dance. And Amy Dowden was just sort of dancing around the pork pie. Like people felt sorry for her. Yeah, people felt sorry for her.
Yeah.
They felt sorry for her for having to be with somebody who was so objectively bad at dancing. And don't get me wrong, my dancing is really shit too. But I don't think that's a conspiracy against me if people tell me this. I think that's like huffing on copium. I also want to point out the the BBC, the way that the BBC do Strictly Come Dancing votes is overseen by a company called Promo Veritas. And they're also used by like a Unilever, Nestle, Shell, like a whole host of like nasty corporations that are not
I guess
known
they're woke
for their
too, right?
Yeah, it must be that Shell, the big oil company, is woke. And Jeremy Stern, their CEO, has appeared on GB News a few times. Like the idea that they are left wing biased and that they're part of the like left wing institution of the BBC. It doesn't really work. I'm sorry, Thomas. Tom, you might prefer Tom. You're just a bit of a shit dancer. There's no way around it.
I mean, look, I'm not a good dancer, but I don't feel oppressed when I'm bad at dancing. Hello, Thomas Skinner. I mean, do you want your little DEI compensation? I'm gonna sue the BBC, or I'm gonna get a GB News media channel because I need DEI. These fuckers are so hypocritical. They talk about DEI and they want the biggest DEI. I mean, the entire point is it's a dancing competition, right? You always get one person who's not very good, but the point is to be good at dancing and win, and that's simply it. That's just equality, right? And democratic participation because people voted for it. But to go deeper, this is a perpetual victimhood mentality from the right wing. And the reason why the right wing, I say they are just projectionists, is that almost everything they claim of the left is true of them. I mean, as a leftist, as a wokey lefty, what gets me offended? I tell you what, homeless people whilst we have billionaires, that offends me. I think attacking democracy and having oligarchs basically controlling society, that offends me. I think ethnic cleansing and genocide offends me. I think the fact that food banks have gone up under this Tory government, I mean, Freudian slip there because it's Labour and Tories, right? Has gone up because of poverty. Like, that shit offends me, right? But what offends the right wing? It's, Thomas Skinner, our good old bud friend, can't stay in a dancing competition, and it's all just shit like that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is extraordinarily true. I think it was like Helena or Kev I heard say the other day. The right wing media really is DEI for conservatives. Like, it keeps their movement afloat in so many ways. Like, outrage farming, whether it's like this or it's like Russell Brand, like, I've been cancelled for like, sexual assault allegations,
and then turn to like extreme Christianity, and
suddenly a born again Christian right wing. I
mean, I was reminded of Russell Brand recently today. Actually, I saw a video of him, and I'm like, oh God's sake, he was banging on about Katy Perry's ex-wife, and said, she's with Justin Trudeau. I'm like, oh my God, with him, I could deal with, I think there was another actor she was with, Orlando Bloom. So I could deal with Orlando Bloom, but Justin Trudeau, the globalist person, I'm like, well, out of Justin and you, one of them's been accused of rape. And it's not Justin. Sorry, I cut you off there. You continue.
No, I agree. And it's extraordinary how quickly Russell Brand actually went from being a relatively cool left-wing figure in, who was supporting Jeremy Corbyn and stuff, to being attacked by the Daily Mail and stuff,
being left-wing doesn't pay, does it?
Yeah, to be it, but then suddenly his image has become much less rock star and much more Graham Linehan complaining about the person his ex-wife is with, like just real kind of loser behavior. It's loser behavior, and unfortunately, fortunately, I suppose for us, it is in the case of Tom Skinner as well. It's just very obviously loser behavior to anyone who's willing to point it out.
And I think for the left, right, I mean, don't get me wrong, we can get a bit conspiratorial, some of it accurate, some of it maybe not so accurate, but oftentimes, because we're used to being quite unpopular and used to fighting with other people, when we lose, we don't say, this is grand conspiracy. I mean, we will say, yes, there's economic and political forces against us. Yes, we have a mainstream media that's owned by corporations. So if we're calling for higher taxes on the wealthy, yes, they're going to be opposed to that. It's not like we have a free reign. But ultimately, when we lose, we will often say, here's what we did wrong. We fucked up. We need to do better. And the right wing are incapable of that. I mean, Liz Truss, for example, I mean, she brought herself down after 40 odd days, and now she thinks, oh, it's the deep state that brought me down. It's a conspiracy. Anytime like right-wing politics fails, or if their opinions aren't popular, there must be an ulterior motive. Oh, why are people actually not overwhelmed, but there's a lot of people in this country generally quite progressive, not fully progressive, but I wouldn't say that most people are socially conservative in this country. And people on the right won't say, we lost this one, lads, we'll try again next time. They'll say, no, it's the woke mind virus, or this and that, it's brainwashing people, or is some kind of conspiracy behind it, and it's the inability for the right wing to have any kind of responsibility. Whereas the left, we're constantly fucking attacking ourselves, going, we shit, no one likes us. Which, maybe maybe we need to add a bit of confidence, and they need to have less confidence. But anyway, I'm rambling on. If there's any final words you wanted to say there, Ben.
I was just going to say one of the reasons that it's kind of incomparable when we go, oh well, the left has lost because of like media institutions against us, is one of the things that defines a conspiracy theory is that conspiracy theories typically buck the trends of power analysis. So what I mean by that is typically when it's a conspiracy, you will see it will operate against the against an analysis of power. Like if it's if it carries an analysis of power with it, it's typically not a conspiracy theory. It's just analysis of the status quo and the way things are, right? That's very different to saying that actually the BBC, which has been extraordinarily kowtowing to the right wing, it literally had was it Tim Davies, the former director of the BBC? Tim Davies? Is that the name I'm looking for?
I mean, we covered this story quite recently.
Had a right way, like a quite conservative, sympathetic director for like the past 10, 15 years. And yeah, to turn around and go and ignore all that and go, no, actually it's a conspiracy because they're woke, is like, that is conspiracy theory thinking. Going, Jeremy Corbyn, had the weight of an entire establishment against him. That's just an analysis. That's just an analysis of power, right?
When those of us on the left say there is institutions and individual forces against left-wing politics, it's not a conspiracy. It is a quite literal material analysis. But it's not it's not a conspiracy because we're like, rich people want to get richer and they're going to do things to enhance that. It's not complicated. Whereas the right will have very vague prescriptions. It's wokeness. And a good example for me is, look, if you're someone who doesn't fall into any sort of left-right paradigm and you're struggling to understand what's true in the world, I would say, for example, when it comes to conspiracies of flat Earth, right? Why is that a rubbish conspiracy? Take away all the scientific stuff, for example. The reason why it's rubbish is, what's the incentive? Now, some people might say, yeah, well, we need to lie about a flat Earth because it is a way of controlling people. That doesn't really make sense, because why would us knowing the Earth is round or flat control you? It makes no sense. What I would say is, give credit to a conspiracy if you can tell me what the motivation is behind it. And if that motivation makes sense, often money. So when we can say, the media are owned by billionaires and don't want a working class movement, we can say, because working class power and billionaire power are direct opposites. Just read Karl Marx, right? It's literally class consciousness. There's an incentive there, and it's not a conspiracy because it's kind of out in the open. But something like, oh, well, I don't like this because of woke, if you have no material analysis there, it's probably a load of shit.